21 kids they put in my care. No warning they gave, no, please beware. On an opening day, we ran right away out to the field to give them our scare. We made them play games and often would send them to lectures real long that seemed not to end. We made them discuss, though some caused a fuss, and they didn't know we'd make them our friend. I'm a 5th year at Calvin College, and after 4 years, let me tell you what usually happens. After 4 years, people graduate and leave. After 4 years, friends graduate and leave. Knowing this in advance, going to be a 5th year senior, I decided I needed to set out actively to make new friends. I thought about this, and one of the things that popped in my mind was to be an orientation leader. I'm going to try and convince you guys all that you should be orientation leaders too. The reason why I decided that this would be a great outlet is because orientation leaders are the type of person who I think would be fun to hang out with. They're slightly extroverted, not all of them, but most of them. They like doing crazy things every once in a while. They like Calvin College quite a bit, and they love meeting new people. And that's what I was going to be, a new person as a 5th year. So if my first reason why you should be an orientation leader is to meet new, willing friends, my second reason is to meet the unknowing friends. These are the 21 kids they put in my care, the freshmen. Now, Kendra can attest to the fact that freshmen don't know better than to think orientation leaders are absolutely awesome. You can ask her after class. I'm sure she'll tell you it's true. And this is why it's so much fun. When you run out there on opening day, when you run out onto the field, and they see you come screaming and hollering and hooting, they don't know what's going on, but they think, is this what it's like to be an upperclassman? So, sorry, it's getting a little hot here. If the first reasons are to meet friends, the next reason why you should be an orientation leader is for the free stuff. I won this sweatshirt as an orientation leader. They gave me this t-shirt for being an orientation leader. They gave me this t-shirt for being an orientation leader. And they gave me this t-shirt for being an orientation leader. In addition to these three things, gentlemen, let's be serious. How many ladies do you know who can resist a guy with a nice purse? Bag. The orientation leader bag, this comes in standard material. Inside my bag, I have a cowboy hat. They told us we would be needing clothes for a Western theme at one of our events, so they gave us a free cowboy hat. And I have enough candy in here to survive me for the rest of the semester. And they tell you, they give you a budget for class. They tell you to hand out candy to freshmen during lectures, that way they can pay attention a little bit. If you kind of scoot a little bit of it back into the bag every time you hand some out, I got enough gum and mints to keep my breath fresh for the rest of the semester. Guaranteed. So if the free stuff and the new friends aren't enough to convince you that you guys should all apply to be orientation leaders, the next reason is for the fun things you get to do. So they throw us out into Commons Lawn, first day of our orientation training, and they tell us, all right, we're going to split you up into groups, and we need you to come up with a team name and a cheer. So our team name was the Rootin' Tootin' Wrangler Rednecks, but they tell us also to do the cheer, which I'm not going to do for you. It's a little embarrassing. But so they send us up, they ship us up to Cran Hill Ranch, and they tell us we're going to be there for 3 days, and that's where we're going to learn how to do all the things that a good orientation leader needs to do. That means lead discussions, talk about some of the step-up dramas that you may remember, but also they let you do a lot of fun things. So the first night, they get us there, we start at the bottom of a hill, and there's an enormous slip and slide going down the hill. It's filled with water and soap, and we have a relay race. So we start off at the bottom of the hill, and we sprint up, and our baton is an egg. So we have to run up to the top, slide down the hill, and then pass it off to the next person. Now my group got really lucky. We had this egg that the other group swore was hard-boiled. Somebody got to the top, they dropped it, and it bounced, bounced, all the way down to the bottom of the hill. We picked it up, so excited, a little bit odd, and just sprinted back up the hill. And we held onto that egg for the rest of the day, because we were not going to let anybody else use our egg for our competition. The next fun activity you got to do, and that's why they told us to bring clothes for a Western theme, was a square dance. On the second night of orientation leader training, we get out there, and we go, We meet our partners and we start dancing around. The funny thing is, orientation leaders don't always do normal things. So when people were told to be Western themed, there was cowboys and cowgirls, and there were people dressed up Kanye Western style. So whether you were twirling around a cowboy or cowgirl or a gangster, it was a great time. The next fun thing we got to do is this enormous relay across all of Grant Hill Range. They taught us 17 events. So we start off, we have logic puzzles to do. Somebody has to balance an egg on a spoon in their mouth. We have bow and arrow contest. We have basketball as part of it, volleyball, tennis. There's a marshmallow eating contest. There's a Calvin knowledge trivia, so how well do you know your John Calvin? And the last event, we had to fold up a piece of paper and throw it through a hoop for the win. Paper airplane. So that was the last thing. And actually, my group is the one that won that. And that's why I have this sweatshirt today. So there is an opportunity to win the sweatshirt if you're an orientation leader, but it's not guaranteed. And the second place team, well, they won t-shirts, which I'm sure they were thrilled about. So I know what you're thinking. Yeah, those things sound fun, and that would be a good reason to be an orientation leader. But Joel, I do not want to take that awful class again. I don't want anything to do with Prelude. Now, I know you all despise Prelude, but let me tell you, there's a change in mood. When you know much more, it isn't the bore. It's merely material reviewed. As an upperclassman doing Prelude, it's so much better, so much better. First off, you don't have to write the autobiography. You don't have to take the quizzes. And you don't have to write reviews of events. And I found out just this past Sunday, I didn't even have to do the readings. I pulled seven of my friends and discovered that only 2 of them have did the readings for Prelude, and I was the only one who did all of them. So the material so when you're in class, the instructor allows you to do other things too. So Bob Crow was my Prelude instructor, and if I was interested, he allowed us to teach a class. I think this is pretty common. I volunteered sometimes to teach sections of classes, and that was a good opportunity. I might want to be a teacher sometime, so this was a great chance for me. Now, most of the time, I can honestly say, I took Biteworks' own advice, and I got out of it. I didn't want to public speak. So, my reasons for being an orientation leader. Meeting new friends, this is a great reason. And if you're an underclassman, a freshman or a sophomore this year, it's a great opportunity to meet people who will be new to the dorms, and people that probably you'll be seeing for your extra time of help. The free stuff is another reason why you should be an orientation leader. It's a great opportunity to win lots of cool things. And let's be serious, Prelude, it's just not as bad as you guys remembered. It's really not. It's much better. So I conclude this topic, again in meter. I hope that on it, you begin to teeter. It went by so fast. I had such a blast doing time as an orientation leader.